Good good morning, everybody. Again, this is Ethan Shapiro, the climate change realtor with Coldwell Banker, giving you your weekly dose of realness. Okay, so here we are. These vlogs are starting to get fun. As I said to the Facebook crowd, I am in my new studio. I've got my little things up on the wall. There's Kanye in high school. I don't know if it'll be inverted or whatever, but oh, cool. Someone's watching. Hello, welcome. But yeah, basically, you know how this thing goes. We're going to talk about my last week, and honestly, it's been a good one. But first, let's start with accountability. So last week, I set out to talk to I believe it was 91 people, and I can't lie, and this is the beautiful part about accountability. I got 89, so that means I had 81 at the time of vlog number 8. So now, and then I went out and I only talked to 8 people because I ended up stuck in the office doing paperwork or looking through a bunch of different things. So yeah, I'm not infallible, guys. I can fail to meet my goals sometimes, but that doesn't mean that I give up and I'm just like, oh, I didn't hit 89. I'm going to give up and stop what I'm doing. It's like, no, now I'm going to try and make it up this week. And I'll be happy to tell you I'm at 77 contacts this week. So I'm hoping to get out there. Well, I'm not hoping. I'm going to get out there and I'm going to talk to 14 more people. Hi, Emily. And yeah, and we'll get that deficit taken care of. So from now on, after this week, I keep saying it, I know, but hopefully after this week, I will have no more deficit and I will be completely on my goal of 90 people a week. All right, so real quick, I want to give a quick shout out to David and Mike / Meyer Shapiro. Mike and Meyer Shapiro is my grandfather. I'm not sure which ties are his and which are my dad's, but my dad sent me like 10 ties this week, so I'm going to have all sorts of different ties coming up. Thanks, Dad. Now let's just get right into the real content of the vlog. And this week is really, I'm going to talk about burnout and stress because I know you saw me get really amped last week, be like, no, I'm going to go into credit card debt, blah, 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 blah. And like, I actually started looking into my credit card debt and my finances and figuring out, and I did stress myself out seeing how possible it is for me to, over leverage, as I'll call it, and be completely out of liquid capital. So that stressed me out this week as well. But the thing is, these last 2 weeks, I've been trying to do something. I've been trying to go gung ho. I decided I'm going to work 7 days a week. Oh, you have to have a day off. You know, everyone says you have to have a day off, at least a day of rest. And I'm like, I'm going to be an animal. I'm going to just push myself to the limit and see what I can do. And you know what? As much as an ignoramus or an overly self-centered person I am, whatever you want to call me, sometimes I can admit when I'm wrong. I tried for 2 weeks now to work 7 days a week, and both weeks I failed. So on Friday last week, I like teetered out and had to go take a walk at Wonderland Lake and ended up not working for the rest of the day. Then that Sunday I was supposed to work and I went for like lunch with Daniel. Hey, Sam. And then, yeah, I mean, this week I completely teetered out on Thursday and was just completely out of energy. So as much as whatever you guys think I am, if I'm a crazy worker, I'm very dedicated, I inspire people, whatever, that's awesome. But I could not recommend working 7 days a week without a break because I just personally couldn't do it. And I know people like Elon Musk and other people can potentially, or maybe they can't. And it's just a facade they're putting on. So to be completely honest with you, I burned out. So I tried doing 7 days a week for 2 weeks and both weeks I failed. So I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm going to be taking Sundays as my day off. So yeah, I mean, that's the way this is going to work because what I have written here is there's like levels of energy that I believe you need to balance. So like your mental energy, that's like what you use when you're doing work. Your physical energy, like what I use when I'm going door knocking, is of course my emotional energy. When I'm door knocking, I need to put on this, I have to be a positive not facade, but I have to put on a positive demeanor when I'm talking to people because they want to get to know the real me. And the real me is this positive person. But if I'm completely burned out from working 8 days in a row without any rest or any time to reflect on what I'm doing, it's going to affect my performance. So yeah, and then there's spiritual energy. I don't know. I don't want to get into that too much, but I do feel like having a chance, I don't know if this is spiritual, but having a chance to stop running on overdrive where I'm writing 150 letters a week, or I'm door knocking 100 doors a week. And, you can get out of whack and you can lose your insights because if you're running, you don't have a chance to look back and see how could I improve? What am I doing wrong? Because I'm just continually running. So unfortunately, be it a day off or not, like I'm going to take a break. And immediately, as soon as I stop working, all this creative energy comes back in because it was being swallowed or pushed down by the mental need to do this A, B, C versus like, what is life? Like, what am I doing? And when I get existential like that, the real creative ideas for my business come and how I can improve. So, yeah, I don't know. I wrote reflection time as well. So yeah, it's just that's that. You need to have time to reflect, to reevaluate your goals and if you're on track and stuff. So unfortunately, as much as I want to like really, really drive to the finish line and possibly beat this 50 million in a year goal, I don't I can't do that by doing it 7 days a week. Cool. So I have we'll cover that next because I wanted to cover this last week and I didn't get a chance because I got super amped up about the other thing. But people ask me, why did you pick climate change as your thing, your mantra, your what you fight for, you know what the hill you'll die on or whatever you want to call it? And guys, the way I didn't pick climate change. Like I'm not I don't really consider myself an environmentalist. I guess I really am, but I didn't pick climate change. Climate change picked me. This is the reality of the situation. I'm going outside this entire week. Had air quality index got as high as 200, which is very unhealthy air quality. I'm not a scientist. I don't really know exactly particles per molecule or whatever, but I could feel the difference when I'm going door to door because of the wildfires that are burning in the mountains in Colorado. I was having trouble breathing because there's crap going into my lungs. And that's happening to you all around, whether you live in New York, Shanghai, or whatever. There is very bad consequences from burning fossil fuels. And whether it comes in the form of trees being burned down and you breathing in the carbon from the trees, or literally just like you sucking on the exhaust of hundreds of millions of people's vehicles. I didn't pick climate change to die on the hill and be, you know, the super environmental Zen dude. No, like I think we are going to die. The whole society will collapse if we don't fundamentally change the way we're living. And you know what? I accept the fact that people disagree with me and I could be wrong, but the evidence that I've been given by the experts that I trust shows me that if we don't make substantial changes in the next decade, be it the last few decades was when we were supposed to do it. And you know what? They've failed us. The governments have failed us. The people in power have failed us. So I totally believe in the grassroots movement. I think everyone get together, learn about climate change and how we can improve the way we live. But I'm looking for a business-oriented approach. And I think if I donate 50% of all my profits, people will really see that there's a lot of interest in this climate change stuff and keep that momentum moving. Hopefully by the year 2030, we can be completely carbon neutral, at least in the US. I think Joe Biden, I don't know about Joe Biden's plan personally, but Sanders had said in his speech about Biden that Biden wants to transition us towards a completely carbon neutral society by 2035. That sounds a little, I mean, it's a good start. If anything, I think it would be very beneficial. We'll see what happens. Not going to get on here and tell you who to vote for. Don't want to talk about the election because that shit can be really freaking divisive, and that's not where I'm trying to be. But yeah, so the last thing I want to talk about is how it takes time to see results, guys. Like I haven't had a single buyer close. I haven't had a single listing close. But in reality, I've been door knocking. I've probably knocked on 6 or 7, 10,000 doors. But the problem is I didn't start a systematic follow-up, that 8 and 8 program that I've harped about. Thank you notes, investor packet, fund packet. I didn't start aggressively following up with people until about 12 weeks ago. So it's essentially like I just started business 12 weeks ago. And they say it takes like 3 to 9 months for you to see any results from your real estate business. When you first get started, sure, you could get a listing right away and be lucky, or you could be prepared, or you could spend the whole year working as an assistant and get out there and bang and kill it. But it's going to take time for me to get results, but things snowball. Like yesterday, I went to go knock on someone else's door, and someone I had met like 2 weeks ago was like, "Oh, you're that realtor guy, aren't you?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's me." He's like, "Oh, my friend." So I obviously had met this guy. He's like, "Yeah, I didn't know what to think about you, but then my friend told me you were a really nice guy." So it's like word is starting to get around about me. And I think that's really cool. And I'm not like impatient or in a rush. I'm happy to let the results kind of pile on. But yeah, it can be stressful when you're getting into that credit crunch. But believe me, guys, I'm going to keep working every single week. I have to hit my metrics of 90 a week, and then the results will come, I assure you. And I'm excited to share them with you on this platform or on Instagram or whatever. So there's 10 minutes right there. Thank you all for joining me again this week. I look forward to making these vlogs every week so we can kind of see how hard work pays off from kind of being nothing to being, you know, a very successful real estate agent. It all just comes from persistence and hard work. So thank you all for listening and watching, and I appreciate the love and support. And it can be stressful, it can be draining. I'm trying to do new things. Thanks. Shout out to Cam Bradley for giving me a pep talk this week. I haven't heard from him in months, so it was cool to talk to him. And I'll see you guys all next week. Stay happy, stay frosty. 2012. Cool. All right.